Hi, my name is Samantha Mirabal, and I'm going to show you real quick the Stitch graphic region, how that works. So I got this graphic. It's in your C drive under Designs, Graphics, Canada. It's a image I had. The Stitch graphic region, what it's going to do is find the borders, find all the edges of the color you have, and kind of save you the tracing work of doing the digitizing. So this tool is of this group of three, it's the middle one. What, a box and a minus and a squiggly and an arrow, I guess. That's the Stitch graphic region. And how it works is you click on the color that you want. In this case, it's the red for the flag. I'm going to change it to something else so we can actually see it. So you can see it found the boundaries of that and went ahead and put a fill in there. It assumed a start and a stop in a stitch direction. And by the way, the stitch direction that it assumed is side to side, which is a pretty awful stitch direction to sew in. So that is one of the things you're going to want to go edit. But you basically go through there, clicking on it. You can see with the maple leaf right here, it actually found all the borders, saved me the time of having to do that. Now what I'd need to do is go and do the basic edits on it, change the stitch direction, make sure I have appropriate underlay for the size that I'm working on, and so forth. So it's really that simple. The tool works best if you have a graphic that is clean. So not a whole lot of blends on the edges and things like that. Now I'll show you one other trick, like this maple leaf right here. Let's say I wanted to put a border on it. So I'm going to move the maple leaf to the end. All right, so let's say I want to put a border around this guy. So if I click on the shape, hold my shift key down, and then let's say I want to do a walk and put just a bean stitch around. So I'm holding the shift key down, I click on that, and I'll change the color of it so you can see what it did. All right, white wasn't a good choice. Let's try something else. There. So you can see it put a border all the way around there. So I can then go over here and change it to a bean type. Change this to a bean. I can make it a little bolder, and if I don't want a bean of 3, I can make it more. But that'll add a border on there. So be sure you go through and change all the stitch directions of the ones that the stitch region generated. And the other thing to pay attention to is these are essentially line to line. I actually have in my properties a little bit of pull offset as the default, so that you get a slight overlap. And you'll want to make sure you either adjust your region so that there's more, or add a little bit of pull offset to each element, so that you do have overlap and you don't end up with gaps between adjacent fill areas. And that's the stitch graphic.